Well, hello there, and hope you're doing well today. I am sitting here doing some stuff and playing around, and I made an investment the other day in my very old i5 laptop because I'm trying to learn how to use more advanced video software. I'm just horrible at this. So I'm trying, and let me go ahead and bring the screen back up here. I'm trying, and you see me up here in the corner. Ignore the man in the window. But what I've been trying to do is I've been using very old software, very, very old software, Windows Movie Maker. And the deal is that there's not a whole lot that I can do with that apart from cutting in and pasting and doing stuff with this. I mean, it's functional for what I've done so far, but I'd like to do a little more fancy stuff. Well, somebody said there's another free software called Shotcut. Well, I first want to start off by showing you a little bit about my computer. I mean, it's an older computer, I'll grant you that. But if you see here on the, make it larger so I can see it, I've got 8 gig of memory in it, and it's an i7 3770, not the fastest in the world, but pretty darn good. I mean, not the greatest you'll ever find, especially for somebody who doesn't have a lot of money, and I don't. And here you can see the specky outline. i7 3770, 3.4 gigahertz, all the fancy stuff, 8 gig of memory. And when I tried to use this software on my laptop, and I clicked on it and just kind of went, Well, I was worried about that hard drive anyway from that older computer. I upgraded my old hard drive on the old computer, on my laptop, with a solid state drive. And I'm just like, it took nothing to do it. I mean, here you can see it's a perfectly serviceable Western Digital drive in this desktop. But it just takes forever to do anything. And I'm going to show you. This is the same. I loaded Shotcut on my laptop, and I couldn't believe how quickly Shotcut loaded. Do I know a lot about Shotcut? No, not yet. But I will. Watch this. This is Shotcut, and I used this to record the last video and edit the last video. And you'll see here. This is what I have to deal with just when I go to load it. It's loading. And it's loading. And here comes Shotcut. And it's loading. And it's loading. And I have to tell you, on my old i5 laptop, it would be up and running by now. That's how much faster these solid state drives are. And there you can see Shotcut's coming up. Now, what I'm going to do is, it's going to seem like no time at all. But what I'm going to do is I have a one of these. It's not here at the moment, but it'll be here shortly. One of these. This is the same one I had, the Samsung 860 EVO, 5-year warranty. And if this desktop, in 5 years, I don't plan to be in the U.S., so. But here's the deal. I'm going to load it. I'm going to use this, use Samsung's own software to clone my hard drive. Somebody said the thing about Samsung is that they have their own software that always works. Well, we'll see if it always works. Let me get rid of the big window here. I have this. I have, come here, you. I purchased the USB connector, and all you have to do is run the software that they give you, that you download from Samsung, this and this, and plug it in. It was plug and play for my laptop. Let's see if it's plug and play for the desktop. Oh, and I got also in the order that's hopefully going to be here in a minute, the other part of this. We'll see if this all works. Okay, the box just arrived. So I'm going to open it and show you what's in this box apart from... See, this Evo box has my old laptop drive in it. So that one I have there. Now, and I hope I'm not having my finger over the microphone. Oh, I didn't. Good. Okay. Here. Let me do this. 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 I'm such a goober. I should have done this before I started taping. Okay. Now. So I can set this down long enough. My desk is such a mess. But here, you can see in here, get rid of all the tape. Now because of the sales, I got an extra drive just to have it because I may do some other things. So I got one of these Western Digital Blues just to see if it was any good because it was cheap enough. It was like $100, so I got that. And this is important. This is the mounting bracket. Here we go. Here's my little Evo, and I'll show you why we have this mounting bracket. Because, I'm sticking my arm right in front of the camera. Because this is a laptop-sized drive. This is an itty-bitty drive, and I'll show you that. And hopefully you can't see my face, and I know many of you don't want to, but let me get. This is my key to everything. I should have had this out in the first place. But this is my 1 terabyte drive. And it is itty bitty. That is a 1 terabyte solid state drive. Why do I need an adapter? To fit this in the slot where the existing 3.5 inch drive is. And that's what this is for. So the first thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to stop the video here in a second, but I want to show you this, because what will happen is I will oops, I dropped something. Oh, I dropped the screws. I dropped some of the screws. Here's the rest of the screws. Is I will mount this drive in here, and I can mount 2 in here. I haven't decided if I want to mount the other drive just as a data drive, just to have something that I can back up to if all else fails. But this will go in here, and the other one goes in there, and this will go in the slot. And we'll fix it all up. So I still have work to do, but what I will do here is in a while I will shut everything down. Well, not shut everything down. I'll put the software on and let it start cloning. But I can't have anything running while I'm cloning, so I'll have to wait for this till the end of my work day, such as it is. Okay, I finished my day, and I'm going through here and closing every program that I have currently open. And I'm also going to close my VPN software, shut everything down. And come on here, exit. And see that? Exit tray, exit. Because what they say, and this is the way I did it with my other is you need to exit all running software before you start your cloning. And I think that's just about everything. And the one thing I also want to do is I want to disconnect my, here, let me set this here so I can do this, is I want to disconnect my external backup drives because those operate on USB, and I'm going to knock this over. Here, let me set that right there next to the monitor. It's going to be a little crooked. There we go. Okay. Let me, okay, that's the Magician installer. So, let me see, can I open this? I don't think it'll let me eject the external drives. Let me format them, won't let me eject them, so let me just do this. Let me unplug this one on the front. The biggest issue I have with Windows is that it won't let you eject external drives very well. Okay, so I have this extension connector, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect this adapter cable to E. There we go. And this adapter connects to the drive very simply. It can only fit one way. So I plug it in like this. You can hear it snap. There, it snaps. And then I plug, oh, I don't plug it in yet. I start running. Let me let you see this. The Samsung data migration software right there. And it tells you what it's going to do. And now it's, you have to plug in the hard disk. It says not to plug it in until you've already done it, until you've run the software. So that's what I'm going to do right here. I'm going to, you can tell I don't do this very well. Right here, I'm going to plug in the USB, and it will detect. I hit the refresh. Okay, I had to stop because the cable didn't like being plugged into that extension, so I had to plug it in directly down here into the computer. So it's plugged into a USB port there, so you can see now it sees both of them. It sees the source disk and the target disk. And I'm going to start it, and oops, I'm going to start that again. And we're going to go right here and click the start button right there, the one that's labeled start, not the one that says cancel. We're going to start it, and oh, let's close that. And would you like to start cloning? Yes. And so they're cloning, and it says it doesn't tell us how long it's going to be, but we're going to let it go, and we'll come back in a few minutes. Okay, it's finally finished after way too long, and I'm going to shut the system down, and we will see what happens from here.
That means I hear about every other word.
No, you hear
Okay.
what you want to hear.
Okay, that's it.
Wait, so however you want to take that.
Taken the old hard drive out, reassembled the computer, put the new one in,
We all understand. understand we're on the same.
I want you to see, this is the thing that will impress you more than anything I do here. Watch this boot.
If we all knew how to read and knew how to listen, that we wouldn't run into some of these traumatic
And
inducing events that do happen when you put a restaurant, a wine person, and consumers together. I do.
if you're used to Windows not booting very quickly,
Before we really get into the nuts and bolts of things.
well,
We've discussed it on the show.
and I'll enter my
Absolutely amazing.
numbers,
I do think they're.
and watch this.
But let me emphasize that word. They are tools. It's just like any craftsman wrench or ratchet set.
Now, I'm going to show you one more thing before I switch over to the desktop again. I want you to watch this as I click on
Going to hurt yourself.
bring up.
Or somebody
There it is,
if you would
shortcut.
use it.
Watch the speed of shortcut as it comes up.
So the same
I just
holds
clicked it.
true for these iPad wine lists. I'm not talking about bashing somebody up the head. The electronic wine lists that are out, they're great. You get to sit, you get to read. In theory, it is to the minute current inventory of a restaurant is carrying in their
Now
wine.
that is fast.
But like any
Anyway,
electronic
if
gigo,
this is simple stuff,
garbage
you
in.
want to try it, like and subscribe.
Yes, it's great.
I'll put some information in the comments below, and we'll talk again next time, okay?
It's just as worthless as